Hello again. Welcome to Side 2. We now return to local news with Sonia. Sonia, over to you.
A college has been ranked the capital's #1 performing college for a second successive year. The College of Haringey, Enfield and North East London was honoured by the Skills Funding Agency, topping the tables with an 89% pass rate of all qualifications started. Student Union President Melina Zachariou said, "It's easy to see why the college came first. You can see that the students are happy and comfortable. The tutors are really approachable. There are a number of services for anyone that needs additional support, and the college takes safety and well-being very seriously." Kurt Hintz, Vice Principal for Curriculum and Learner Experience, said, Our excellent success rates are the results of the great teaching and student support given by staff at the college. Everyone works tirelessly to ensure all learners get the support they need to achieve. This news confirms our leading position among London colleges, and it is backed by our high rates of student satisfaction. Meanwhile, Creative Media Production BTEC Diploma Level 3 student Aaron Fenton has been selected for an expedition to Central America organised by international development charity Rally International. Aaron, who is due to leave for Nicaragua in June, is now in the midst of several months of fundraising to raise £800 to fund the trip. He said, "I really want to help people, and travelling across the world is where I need to go to help those most in need. I love experiencing new cultures, and I'm hoping to raise the funds needed to make it to Nicaragua." To make a donation, visit www.justgiving.com/Aaron-Fenton.
A man has been found guilty of playing a part in a complex criminal scam which duped victims out of more than £1 million. Farrokh Eshpari, 56, of George Lovell Drive, Enfield Lock, was found guilty at Southwark Crown Court on Friday of money laundering offences. His wife, Safia Eshpari, 53, also of George Lovell Drive, had earlier pleaded guilty to money laundering, and their sons, Omar, 35, of the same address, and Haidar, 29, of Sidcup in Kent, had earlier pleaded guilty to conspiracy to defraud. The family's involvement related to a so-called boiler room scam, whereby potential investors are cold called and persuaded to part with vast sums of cash on a promise of huge returns on their investments. Their victims were targeted and told that rare coloured diamonds were exclusively on offer to them. They were told they would be sure to make money. The explanation was that the mines they were sourced from were due to close, meaning the diamonds were being sold cheaply but would soon go up in value once the market realised there were no gems like them left in the world. If any potential investors expressed interest, they were then sent glossy brochures in a bid to reassure them that the business was entirely legitimate. In fact, the coloured gems were practically worthless and were being flogged to victims at up to 3,000% more than what they were worth. Any hope of even getting back a small amount of what was paid for the jewels was impossible. Since the fraud began in 2011, vast profits of as much as £1.5 million were funnelled into accounts held by the gang overseas, and tens of thousands of pounds were spent on luxury goods in high-end department stores in central London. Two companies, which essentially operated as one, were found to be behind the fraud: Evolution Commodities and Stonehouse Global Markets. In the course of the trial, the jury heard that Omar Ishbari had masterminded the scam. His brother Haider Ishbari had been the director of Evolution Commodities until he was arrested at the office in Devonshire Square in the City of London in December 2011. He was arrested again the next month when he tried to siphon £30,000 out of the company through a banker's draft. The brothers' parents had helped in the scam by laundering money through a company that had been set up in their name, called Dante Elias, and through their own personal bank accounts. Also found guilty of involvement in the scam was Anna Ford of Gravesend, Kent, who was found to be responsible for the day-to-day running of Stonehouse Global Market. She often visited the homes of potential investors to show them the gems, and took money from the victims before transferring it from her bank account to that of the brothers. That particular company ran for 18 months and shut down in early 2013 when Omar Ishbari was jailed for his involvement in a separate land banking investment fraud. However, Ford was in the process of setting up her own jewellery business when she was arrested by police in June 2013. Detective Constable Claire Bailey, who led the investigation for the City of London Police, said, "Boiler room fraud is a crime that destroys retirements and ruins lives. Victims were led to believe they were investing their savings in diamonds that could only increase in value and would provide them with regular and healthy dividends, when in reality they were putting their money and trust in a carefully constructed scam designed to make the fraudsters a fortune." The City of London Police are very pleased this complex and extensive investigation has finally resulted in this organised crime gang facing the justice they deserve, something that I hope will provide some solace to their victims. We would also advise anyone who is contacted by a cold caller trying to sell them something to simply hang up the phone and do not engage with this person on any level. All 5 are due to be sentenced on May the 29th.
Good. A park group has been left frustrated after ongoing delays installing new play equipment. Aldersbrook Park in Aldersbrook Avenue, Enfield, was due to have £145,000 worth of equipment installed last May. However, delays by Enfield Borough Council mean the project will not get underway until autumn this year, 18 months after it was announced. Josie Walden, chairman of Friends of Aldersbrook Park, said, "Of course it's frustrating. We wanted something done for the summer months and school holidays, but it has been constantly pushed back." Councillor Joanne Laban, Shadow Cabinet Member for Environment, said, "The new play equipment project for Aldersbrook Park has had a number of setbacks due to internal failings at Enfield Council. The people who are affected the most by this are the local children. I hope, due to the delays, that the council will include complete new surfacing as a gesture to local people for the length of time this project is taking to be delivered, as I know this is something they wish for." However, following meetings, Miss Walden told the Enfield Independent she was positive about the park's future. She said, "We have held positive meetings with the council, and hopefully the pressure has helped our cause. This is one of the oldest parks in the borough, and we do not want it going to waste." An Enfield Council spokesman said, "The council is investing £145,000 in Aldersbrook Park as part of its £2 million investment in Enfield Parks. To minimise the cost to local taxpayers, we have been seeking additional match funding from alternative sources, such as the Fields in Trust scheme. This bid has been successful, and the new play equipment will be in place this autumn. We are working with the local Friends group to ensure the facilities meet their needs, and the proposed design will be displayed in the park from May."
Enfield North Labour candidate in the general election, Joan Ryan, is calling for action to tackle what she describes as an emerging accident and emergency crisis following publication of the latest casualty waiting times. She said the closure of the A&E department at Chase Farm Hospital in the Ridgeway, Enfield in 2013 had put pressure on other hospitals. Government figures released this month saw the number of patients waiting for more than 4 hours to be admitted at North Middlesex University Hospital in Stirling Way, Edmonton, in the last week of March, rise from 31 in 2014 to 126 this year. Ms. Ryan said, local A&E departments have been placed under greater pressure, both by the Tories' decision to axe the A&E unit at Chase Farm and the fact that under the Tory-led government it is getting harder for people to see their GP. Conservative candidate Nick Dubois said, Joan Ryan's constant scaremongering isn't convincing anyone. Her continuing claims that Chase Farm Hospital will close, when even Labour-run Enfield Council has approved the £270 million rebuild and investment programme, shows that she has nothing to offer residents. I wish she would get behind the new hospital and champion the future of Chase Farm, rather than raise the prospect of a Labour government putting this investment at risk. The other candidates in Enfield North are Yemi Awolola, Christian People's Alliance, Deborah Cairns, UKIP, David Flint, Green, Cara Jenkinson, Liberal Democrat, and Joe Simpson, Trade Unionist and Socialist Coalition.
When the 36,000 exhausted and elated runners reach the finish line of the London Marathon on Sunday, they will be keen to collect their bags packed with a change of clothes before heading off to celebrate. Members of 2 Enfield running clubs are volunteering behind the scenes at the finish of the Mall to reunite athletes with the luggage bags they last saw when they handed them in at the start, 26.2 miles away in Greenwich. Each bag is labelled with the runner's race number to ensure the correct kit is returned to the right person. The bags are loaded onto lorries and driven under police guard to the Mall, where they are unloaded and sorted by teams of volunteer baggage handlers. A team of 14 runners from Trent Park Running Club will be on hand to help unload one of the lorries and get the bags ready for the competitors, a task they have done for the past 16 years. Len Edmonds, the club's baggage team leader, said there were about 900 bags on each lorry. He divides the load into 3 areas with teams of 4 or 5 unloading each section and sorting them into the correct number order to ensure the smooth handover of bags to weary runners. Mr. Edmonds, who has run 3 London marathons himself, said, "We have to be there about 9 a.m. and the lorries arrive at 11 o'clock. For about an hour it's bedlam. We just enjoy it. I have no difficulty in getting volunteers." It's an early start as well for the volunteers from Edmonton Running Club. A team of 28 will be unloading 2 lorries on Sunday. They will be on a 7 a.m. coach which takes the club's competitors to Greenwich before dropping them off near the Mall about 8 a.m. Rick Oliver, the club's baggage coordinator, said many of the team had run in the event themselves and want to put something back. "It's just a case of getting involved," he said. "We enjoy doing it." The team gets back to Enfield early in the evening after a long, hard day and the reward of a handful of guaranteed places in next year's event for their members. Volunteers from Trent Park Running Club also help keep pedestrians safe. Penny Cording will be leading the pedestrian management team at South Quay in Docklands. Her team of 38 volunteers will leave Trent Park in Snakes Lane, Oakwood, at 5:45 a.m. on Sunday and has to get into Docklands before the roads are closed to traffic along the marathon route.
I'll set my alarm for them. Hospital staff were hoping to catch glimpses of themselves on screen when a new comedy made its television debut. ITV sitcom The Delivery Man is about a newly qualified midwife at a fictional hospital known as East Hill Park. It was filmed at North Middlesex University Hospital last year and includes scenes shot in and around the Wilbury Way Hospital and its brand new maternity unit. Dozens of staff and the occasional patient who gave their consent are also expected to feature in the background. The series tells the story of Matthew Bunting, played by Darren Boyd, who experiences a personal rebirth after giving up work as a police constable. The cast also includes Faye Ripley, who plays divorced senior midwife Caitlin, and Paddy McGuinness, as a former policeman now working in hospital security. The first episode aired last Wednesday, and it included scenes set in North Middlesex University Hospital's Birthing Room 5. Other scenes feature the hospital's antenatal department, restaurant, and main entrance. Set designers created a life-size replica of North Middlesex's maternity unit at a studio in East London, where other scenes were filmed. North Middlesex's head of midwifery, Gary Slevin, who joined in January after filming had finished, said, "We're really looking forward to being part of this ITV drama. It was fantastic for all our staff to see this comedy being made, and we're proud that the director chose us because of our beautiful facilities for mums."
Enfield Town has welcomed a French market for the second time in 6 months. The market welcomed people from across the borough to sample ham and pastrami, breads and pastries, cakes, cheeses and clothing from across the Channel. Councillor Alan Sitkin, Enfield Borough Council's Cabinet Member for Economic Development, said, "Last year, the French market opened to packed crowds, all intent on tasting the delicious foods and sampling some of the fantastic goods for sale. It's worth noting, as well as the French stalls, there were also quality goods and produce from other European countries there. Enfield Council is working hard to promote its town centres and the businesses that are its lifeblood. This is done by arranging events and festivals, showcasing good retail opportunities, and ensuring that we plan our streets to increase footfall and make all our shopping areas welcoming to everyone." The market was previously in Enfield Town Market last November.
A young filmmaker is set to make a video chronicling his mum's inspirational fight against cancer. Ben Doyle, 18, of Pear Tree Road, Enfield Town, plans to make the short film about his mum Jackie, who is currently clear of the disease. Jackie, 53, was diagnosed with breast cancer 2 weeks before her 50th birthday and had to undergo treatment including a lumpectomy, chemotherapy and radiotherapy. Ben credits his mum's optimism and love of life for getting her through the difficult time, and he wants the film to give hope to those in a similar position. The former pupil of Chase Community School in Churchbury Lane, Enfield, said he could still remember the day he found out his mum had cancer. "I can remember feeling as though the entire world had crumbled down around me," he said. But even then she had the attitude of, "Let's just get on with it, there's no point in getting sad about it." It was a life is what you make of it attitude. Family and friends couldn't believe how well she was taking it. Ben credits his mother's attitude for changing his life. He left school to pursue his dream career in filmmaking. "It changed everyone in my family's life," said Ben, who has one sister. Everyone has now got this attitude of, if you're not enjoying something, don't do it. The film entitled Mum's the Word, will record Ben's first in-depth conversation with his mum about her cancer. If this has an effect on one person's life, it will be a worthwhile project, he added. By Sunday, Ben had reached his target of raising £1,500 for the film through crowdfunding site Kickstarter. He works as a runner for an advertising agency, does film work in the evenings and weekends. He hopes to have the project finished by June before putting it online. He is also in talks with cancer charities in the hope that they will use this film as well.
Here's another cancer story, a good one. Spurs star Nasa Chadley was put through his paces when he joined a fitness class designed for people fighting cancer. The Tottenham Hotspur Foundation and Macmillan Cancer Support launched the After Cancer Exercise, or ACE, programme last year to help improve people's mental well-being, physical health, and reduce the chances of their cancer recurring. The ACE programme has already helped 150 people in Haringey and Enfield who have the disease, giving them a week of one-to-one activity sessions with an exercise specialist. To mark the first anniversary of the partnership, members and guests gathered at an event last Thursday at White Hart Lane Stadium, where Tottenham midfielder Mr. Chadley cut the cake and took part in an aerobics exercise session. He said, "I was very glad to be part of this event and support this cooperation with this charity. I was very happy to come and cut the cake for the anniversary. It means a lot to me to be a part of it. I think the programme is very helpful. It gives a lot of hope to these people. I'm very glad we help a lot of people in the local area, as we have a lot of fans here. I think it's important to help people face cancer, and it's good that Tottenham is part of that." Haringey resident Paul Walker, aged 53, a father of 3, who retired from running an online mail order company when he was diagnosed with lung cancer, said, "When I got told I had lung cancer, it was like being caught in the middle of an earthquake. It was a huge shock to me and my family. This programme has been fantastic for me. The one-on-one training that I got was great for filling me with confidence to try out new exercise. It was very safe, very tailored, and very effective. Overall, exercise has been great for me, giving me a sense of control. I think it's really important that people with serious illnesses take as much control over their conditions as possible. I'm very grateful to Spurs and Macmillan for getting this programme together." The ACE scheme is funded jointly by Macmillan Cancer Support, the Tottenham Hotspur Foundation, and a big lottery fund grant. Grant Cornwell, Chief Executive Officer of the Tottenham Hotspur Foundation, said, "We're incredibly proud of ACE and the work our instructors do to help change the lives of people living with and beyond cancer." Nicky Cannon, Senior Macmillan Development Manager, said, "We're delighted that the ACE programme is making a real difference to people."
Many children dream of owning a pony, and some of them have been getting the chance to learn what it involves at a riding stables in Enfield. They enjoyed the Own a Pony event at Gillian's Riding School at Braeside Farm in Clay Hill. Manager Hayley Dickens said that the children got involved in making sure the horses were fed, watered and exercised before they were given an opportunity to go riding, helping the youngsters to get an understanding of what is required to look after a horse. They do enjoy that and do enjoy getting stuck in, she said. Later in the day, the children, who were accompanied by adults, competed in teams to hunt for card Easter eggs hanging down from trees in Whitewebb's woodland. The riders were only allowed to walk or trot, and there were points for the fastest team to find the eggs. The riders then competed in an obstacle course, which included leading the horses around stepping stones and moving round bending poles with flags stuck in them. Mrs. Dickens said, "It's suitable for a complete novice, as we can guide them and lead the pony. They are not worried about their actual riding ability, as they focus on getting around the course. It's about building confidence and general awareness of what the horse needs on a day-to-day basis, so they don't look on them as just a form of transport." She said the children built up a good rapport with the animals during the day and added, "All the children do have their favourite pony, definitely. The next Own a Pony event will run during the summer half-term holiday."
A ceremony to mark 100 years since the start of the Gallipoli campaign will take place this week. Royal British Legion members, councillors and Deputy Lieutenant Anne Cable MBE will lead the ceremony and plant an almond tree at the Memorial Garden in Broomfield Park, Palmer's Green on Sunday. Between April 1915 and January 1916, troops from Britain and France battled against Ottoman soldiers to capture the empire's capital, Constantinople, now known as Istanbul. More than 100,000 are thought to have died in the battle. Enfield Borough Council leader, Councillor Doug Taylor, said, "Gallipoli is a stark reminder of the horrors of war. More than 100,000 people lost their lives in the savage fighting there. It was not only a military failure, but it was also a huge price paid by the families whose loved ones died or were injured. Remembrance is important, but it is my hope that in remembering we also learn."
Well, we've reached the end of our programme for this week. Thank you for listening. So from the team of Sonia, Jenny, Alan and Ian on the controls, it's goodbye.
Goodbye.